If someday you come to know that the state which we are belonging, that state government has brought a reservation even in the private sector jobs for the locals and residents, will you be happy or will you be sad? Well, this will depend upon the state which you belong. If you belong from the states like the Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, then you may be happy because these states generating lots of employment, and most of the migrants laborers comes from different states in these states for the employment. So those jobs in the private sector will be reserved for you, right? So you may be happy. But if a state you are belonging is from the Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, then there are chances that you may not be happy, because people from the Bihar and Uttar Pradesh migrate to different states for the employment, right? So this was the first thing. Well, second thing, if you think only for the state perspective, right, if narrow-mindedness is there, then you may be happy, right? But if you think from the national integrity, unity and in diversity, this perspective, that we Indians are equals, then you will not be happy, right? And we are talking over here the reservation in the private sector jobs within a state. Okay, so let's discuss this topic. Hello everyone, I am Rajesh, a faculty at the Kalam Academy. Let's start. So recently this has been in the news because Punjab and Haryana High Court has quashed the law which has been brought by the Haryana government for providing 75% reservation only to the local residents, right? Therefore this has been in the news. So what is the issue? Haryana government in the 2020 has brought Haryana State Employment of Local Candidate Act 2020, and through this the Haryana government has provided 75% reservation in the private sector jobs only to the local residents, or only to the localites, only to those who is belonging from the Haryana states, right? Up to what limit? All the jobs in which the salary is provided only up to 30,000 rupees per month. So nothing will be reserved for salaries which is above the 30,000 limit, right? What can be different types of private sectors? It can be like a company, it can be a trust, it can be a societies. Means broadly every kinds of private sector has been covered under this act. Now this act, Haryana State Employment of Local Candidate Act, this got challenged in the Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Punjab and Haryana High Court has clearly said that the act is unconstitutional in nature. Okay, then it went into the Supreme Court. Supreme Court bench has said that the Haryana High Court has not given satisfactory reasons why this act has been put a stay on, means why there has been put a stay on this implementation of this act. Therefore the Supreme Court bench has directed to the Punjab and Haryana High Court that please decide within 4 weeks whether this act is constitutional or unconstitutional in nature. So this is the recent update about this act. Okay. Then who are the petitioners? So the petitioners are like the Haryana Industries Association and several other associations. Private institutions have filed petition against this move, Haryana government move to provide private sector reservation, means 75% reservation to only Haryana people, right? What they said, they clearly said that this is the violation of Article 14, right to equality. Because when you are reserving seats for some certain state, means only for that particular states, then you are violating right to equality among the Indians. Among the citizens, we are enjoying the right to equality. So people from different states cannot come, and they cannot get equal opportunity to have means jobs in any private sector in the Haryana, right? So it violates Article 14, plus it also violates Article 19, in which it is clearly written that right to trade and profession, right? And that is a fundamental right which is being violated. So this is the issue. What has been the this Punjab and Haryana High Court judgment said? It said that Article 19(1)(f), which is the fundamental right, under this there is provision that every person will be allowed to have profession, trade, practices anywhere they want within the country. But if some particular state, in this case Haryana state, is reserving 75% of the seats only for the local community, only for the Haryana people, then it is violating Article 19(1)(f) is violated for the different citizen of the country which is residing in different states, which migrate to Haryana for the jobs. So it is violating that. Plus this is a legislative overreach. Why? Because such kinds of laws can be brought only by the parliament, and it has been specifically said in the Article 16(3) of the fundamental rights of the Constitution of India, right? That parliament may bring such kinds of law. But what is happening here? State government is bringing such law. State legislative assembly is bringing such law. So this is legislative overreach also, right? Plus it will create an artificial wall. When you are reserving 75% of the seats for your localites, it will create a wall, because they will now be there will be only availability of 25%, in which Haryana people will also come, and different states migrants people will also come. So it will create a artificial wall, because you are providing reservation for the locals only in private, even in the private sector jobs. Plus it is also clearly said that by the High Court, that this reminds them of the Inspector Raj. Before 1990, our economy was closed and everything was regulated by the state government, by the central government, right? And if you see this act, the Haryana Act up to 2020, then section 6, it clearly says that it mandates the firms, it mandates the private sector firms to submit the report whether this act has been implemented properly or not. So this is completely a Inspector Raj. Plus the section 8, the authorized person or the authorized officer may ask the private sector firms whether you are implementing it properly or not, on what basis you are implementing it, and how well you are implementing it. So don't you think this is going beyond, or don't you think like this is going beyond the before the 1990s era, where license permit Raj was there, when Inspector Raj were there, when economy was closed, everything was being regulated by the state government. Why would private sector come to the Haryana then? Right? And Haryana is not the only state which has brought this act. In 2018, Madhya Pradesh government has brought such kinds of act, and it made private sector to have 70% reservation, 70% of the employee from the Madhya Pradesh itself, right? Similarly, Andhra Pradesh in 2019, they have brought that, it made them 75% private sector jobs will be only for the Andhra Pradesh people. 2020 then Haryana brought this, and in 2020 itself Karnataka has also brought this, that 70% of the job will be some kind of reservation will be there only and for the Karnataka people, and this is talking about the like in private sector jobs. When Andhra Pradesh has brought this act in 2019, that is Andhra Pradesh Employment of Local Candidates in the Industries or Factories Bill 2019. So this was also challenged in the Andhra Pradesh High Court, and High Court at that point of time had said that it may be unconstitutional in nature. But till today, like Andhra Pradesh High Court has not decided on this bill, so we cannot say what will be the judgment. And obviously, if the Punjab and Haryana High Court give some judgment within 4 weeks, so there may be chances that there will be high influences of this judgment on the Andhra Pradesh High Court also. Right. So this thing we have studied, that this topic we have studied, but why do you study this for the UPSC exam? So from the GS2 point of view, like the government policies and intervention, you can connect this topic from here. Also, reservation has always in news, right? Multiple times amendment has been there and then reservation has been brought, right? Therefore, from the static to the current point of view, this topic is very important. And if you see the question paper of UPSC, then in 2019, regarding the reservation of women in the institution of local self-government has been passed. So there are high chances that in 2024 men's reservation for local residents in the private sector jobs, this question may erupt. So if questions ask, what would you write in the arguments in favor? In arguments in favor, you can write that local youth empowerment will be there. Because if you see the periodic level force participation rate in the recent report, you will find that in Haryana 9% unemployment is there. So definitely it will bring unemployment within the Haryana, because then private sector jobs will be reserved for the 75% will be reserved for the Haryana people only. Then son of soil theory will be validated. Why? Because son of soil theory says that whatever the resources are there, whatever the jobs are there within that particular state, that should be belonging to the locals. So son of soil theory will also be validated. Plus, there will not be any kind of exploitation on the migrants, because then there will be less migrants itself. They will be coming for the jobs only for the 25% of the jobs. Right. So number of migrants will be less, and then there will be less exploitation also. Plus it legitimizes the rights of the state. Because if some acts is there, then through that act, whatever the activity is being taken by the government, so that activity will take place. Plus no more hatred towards the migrants, because as 75% reservation will be followed in the private sector jobs, so the localites will feel that they already have sufficient portion of the jobs, so there will not be enough hatred. Plus it will be in line with the international practices, because even the country like the United States of America, Canada, there also several states have such kinds of acts through which some kinds of special provisions can be provided to the local residents itself. Right. Then if you have to see what are the arguments in against, then in argument in against, you can see that first of all, there may be labor shortages, there may be skilled labor shortages, because you have to have, as a company, you have to take only Haryana people, right? So there are chances that the kind of skill set which is required for the company or for the industry, that kind of skill set is not in the Haryana people. right? They have not been trained in that fashion. So there may be shortages of the skilled labor, plus it may impact the economy. It may negatively impact the economy because no more companies would want to be established in the Haryana state because there will be restrictions on the labor forces, right? Plus there are high chances that the investment will also be reducing. Let's suppose that you have to open a company. Would you open company in such states where there are lots of rules, regulation, restriction, or you will open company where there is no such restriction, right? Obviously you will be choosing those states where no such regulations are there is no such labor laws are there, that 75% of the employee you will have to take from that particular state only, right? Plus it is against the unity and integrity of the nation. Let's suppose that every state tries to bring this, right? 70 to 75% reservation in the private sector jobs, every state tries to bring this. So what will be there? There will be less mobility, there will be more feeling of the regionalization, right? So there may be more classes, there may be more communal violences. So such things may be there. It will be like we are proud to have the unity and diversity, but that will not be there. But plus it violates the fundamental rights. Article 14 is violated, Article 15 is violated, Article 16 is violated, right? Article 19 is violated. So if lots of fundamental rights is being violated, right? Therefore it can be said that if state government has to bring such laws, there should be careful thought on this. Plus we should be waiting the judgments of what the judgments is coming from the state of High Court of Haryana and Punjab. So let's wait for that, and hopefully that will be best for the society. Thank you.